이제는 세월과 함께 조선의 세대와 세대들이 가장 보람찬 삶을.
I'm in the middle of the most secretive country on earth, and this hotel room is the only place that I can film freely. Within 100 yards of this room there are families slowly starving, and I'm not allowed to report on it. Although the government here has requested international assistance, it's extremely difficult for aid workers to gain access here, and for journalists it's impossible. Without access and without images, a mere trickle of aid is coming in.
You want to see what we can bring. We also want to see what sort of a relationship we can have. But our primary objective is to help the people in need. So we don't.
This man holds the resources of one of the world's biggest aid agencies, but to date he's made nothing but a token contribution to North Korea. He's negotiating an agreement with the government, but he's suspicious about how aid is delivered here. He can't direct where it goes, nor who it goes to. He knows there's a need, but he's not allowed to see it.
Care can bring in small projects. If you want a bit of help here and a bit of help there, then you can have that. But that's not really you're not using the benefits that care can provide in a major way.
그래서 우리가 처음에 내가 그 케어 대표를 만났을 때는 매우 큰 기대를 가지고 대표를 맞이했어. 그래서 우선 건 6개월이라는 세월이 남아 흘렀는데 아직 이를 다 할 국제 케어를 통한 협조가 이를 다 할 그게 눈에 띄게 나타난 게 그거 아직 없어.
Since the 6 months.
Simon Williamson knows that in the past 6 months, people have been dying in the remote regions of North Korea. But his plan to launch a relief project there has been rejected by the government. No foreigners are allowed. Without access to the people in the most need, he's refusing to deliver aid to the places the government want him to, places that don't need emergency aid at all.
내가 말하고 싶은 건 우리가 처음에 기대했던 것보다는 활동이 매우 좀 미약하지 않나.
What I want to mention is that your activity is under our initial expectation.
If you want to come in and help out, the North Koreans aren't letting you bring those resources in a way that you can be sure that the people who need it get it. So how do you address that? What do you say? The North Koreans are saying, well, look, we've got our system, we ensure that everybody gets what they need, and you just give us the money or the food and we'll take care of that. You know, this is our country. And it is their country. But that's not the way humanitarian aid works. If you walk down the street and you see a starving child, that's the child that you're going to target with your resources.
There's no starving children in the capital, nor in the fertile rice bowl areas that surround it. But it's to these regions that the government is trying to direct all aid. Williamson's message that no access to the remote areas means no aid at all has had an impact. Today he's been given a rare permit to travel north out of the capital, and his recommendations will be made at the end of this 7-day journey.
And he's not sure, but he's
I've been given permission to film his investigation. I can't film on the street or from the car, I can't do interviews, and we've been told not to approach civilians. We've been given a minder, and the man in the background has been assigned to watch over him, guarding the guard and taking down every word that he utters. It's a level of control which seems totally normal to everyone around us.
They've spent years and years and years developing this idea of socialism and independence. And the last thing they want to do is expose to themselves, and especially to foreigners, that they've got problems. Yet they know they do, and they do want the help, and it's just a dilemma for them.
As we travel north through the central provinces, we stop at as many kindergartens as possible. Children are the first to show signs of famine, and in place of a proper survey, these visits enable Williamson to gain an impression of the region and devise a strategy for assistance. But discovering exactly what the needs are is easier said than done.
With that in mind, when he's preparing the list of nurseries and kindergartens, it would be also good if he could identify which nurseries and kindergartens need sanitation facilities.
After your project is being under operation, we are going to have some cleaning around this area and show you.
Well, if we're going to do the project, I really need to see the sanitation service.
I think later you can see.
When? We've only got about 10 minutes.
After documents approved.
Well, I'm not going to be coming now.
Begins.
No, the documents come after I see them. I mean, really.
This argument about devising a sanitation program without seeing the toilets seems petty, but to us it becomes a symbol of the aid impasse in North Korea.
Nobody will let us look at this.
Help is available, but the problem is too embarrassing to show.
But it's the last chance I have to do this project.
It shouldn't be last chance. You should come several times if the project begins here.
The project won't begin unless we have a chance to see some of the problem. You understand that, Moon. Come on, convince them.
Seeing toilets, I think you have to keep on.
Once you've done that, you're designing the program.
We're in the county of Huchon, north of the capital, and heading up into the mountains. It's an area rumoured to be in trouble, but it seems that we're being shielded from it. Until we break the schedule and start visiting nurseries at random.
I work for Care International, it's a non-government aid agency. So we're looking at trying to assist improve the nutritional status of children in Huichon. I'm sure you're familiar with some of the work that they've...
There's not a lot of singing in this group. Many of them no longer have the energy. Their stillness is chilling. If these children slide into category 3 of malnutrition, they'll lose all of their powers of movement, even the power to eat.
어린이들 속에서 보조 급성 설사병 서대장염 이런 거가 제기됩니다. 그래서
diseases such like diarrhea.
And these are the healthiest kids in this nursery. We're told that up to 20% of the class have stayed home today, probably too sick to attend.
We've got skin problems. These kids are stunted. There's a sort of a lethargy amongst some of those kids. It's not a situation that where they're dying instantly. It's deteriorating very steadily. So without some attention or without a nutritional support to these kids, you'll see them move into category 3 and into a critical state where they need to go to hospital.